Hey guys, in this video, we are talking about your human design profile. Your profile gives you more insight into your personality and the way that you carry out your different roles in life. So it's going to give you some key pieces of wisdom when it comes to your life's work and how you create fulfillment and live out your purpose here in this lifetime. If you don't yet have your chart, you can find it at whitneycopeland.com/chart and get your free download. Once you have it, take a look below the body graph. There's some writing below the body graph, and you're going to find the word profile, and you're going to see a number that looks like a fraction. That is your profile number. The first number comes from your conscious sun gate, and it's the parts of your personality that you are probably aware of and conscious of. The other number comes from your unconscious sun gate, and it shows you the aspects of your personality that you might not be as aware of, but that other people will definitely see in you and maybe even point out to you. If you have done a lot of spiritual or personal development type work already, you may very well be aware of your unconscious personality traits as well. But as you're listening to the descriptions later in this video, pay close attention to that unconscious sun gate so that you can really bring awareness to that and start noticing it show up in your life. So the next step, if you already have your chart, checked out your profile number, we are going to dive into talking about your specific profile, and then I'm going to break it down line by line so that you have a really good understanding of yourself and your profile as a whole. Profile 6-2 is the Role Model Hermit. This profile goes through 3 distinct phases in life. The first phase is from birth to age 30, where they are out in the world, experiencing things, trying things, experimenting. And the second phase of life is from age 30 until about age 50, where you reflect on your life, you course correct, you gain a lot of wisdom. And then the final phase of life is from age 50 and onward, where you become the role model and the guide for others. So now that we know a little bit about the 6-2, let's dive into each of these lines separately. So as you're listening to me describe each of your profile lines, pay specific attention to your unconscious line. As I mentioned earlier, these are the things that you might not yet be aware of about yourself. Other people may notice these characteristics or attributes in you before you do. And if you've done a lot of personal development type work already, you may very well be aware of these things and have already found your strategies and tools to help you really step into the higher frequency of your profile lines, which is where you're going to create that alignment in your life and that prosperity. But I want you to really listen to not only the unconscious profile line, but the conscious as well, through the lens of, am I owning this about myself? Have I really stepped into my role here? Am I really carrying out the essence of these lines? Am I stepping into the strengths? Am I aware of the challenges? So have that open mind as we dive in. We're going to cover your conscious line first, followed by your unconscious line. Okay, let's talk about line 6, the role model. So the role model is unique in the sense that they have 3 distinct parts to their life. From birth to the age of 30, the line 6 shows up much like a line 3. So they are trial and erroring in life. They are going out and experiencing things. They are therefore running into some obstacles and challenges. And in the second phase of life, from the age of 30 to 50, they are reflecting on everything they have learned. So they are looking back on what is sometimes called their hero's journey. So what have I been through in my life? What have I learned from it? They're extracting the wisdom. And then from the age of 50 onwards, they become the role model. They are the wise elder, so to speak, here to offer perspective and guidance to those who are younger than them or even older than them, just people who are experiencing challenges that they have already experienced and figured their way out of. So the strength is that you are a very natural and compassionate leader. The compassion comes from the fact that you have experienced a lot and you understand that things happen in life and it's not necessarily somebody's fault. So you can really be compassionate when you are offering guidance and wisdom. Something to be aware of is that when you're younger, you're going to experience more of those challenging times because you're more prone to putting yourself out there and taking risks. And naturally, through doing so, you will come up against different challenges or what you might think of as errors, although there really is no error for you because everything that you go through is something that you extract your wisdom from, and then you can help others. So your key to prosperity as a line 6 is to reflect back on your life, identify the challenges that you have overcome, extract all of the little tidbits of information that you can from those experiences, and then offer that to those who seek it. And that is a key sentence there, offering your wisdom to those who seek it. You don't want to just go out there and start telling people what to do, but there are certainly people out there who want what you have to offer. So putting yourself out there and sharing your story, sharing your journey, bringing people in, gravitating toward you so that you can share like little pieces of wisdom that you've learned through life, that is your key to prosperity. Okay, let's talk about line 2. This is the hermit, also known as the natural genius. So as a line 2, you have natural gifts. There are certain things that come effortlessly to you. And sometimes you're actually not aware of this because it feels so natural to you. But people in your life will notice these things and they will come to you for help. So what you need to do as the natural genius is have a sanctuary, have a space for yourself where you can master your craft in an uninterrupted way. You don't enjoy being interrupted when you're doing stimulating work or if you're in the middle of some kind of creative project. So be aware that you will need your own time and space for that. The strength that you have is that you have these gifts and you have the ability to help others. However, your introverted tendencies can keep you from putting yourself out there. So the things to be aware of is, spending too much time on your own, not marketing yourself, not putting yourself out there. And on the other hand, you need to be aware of saying yes to misaligned opportunities because people are going to come to you when they notice that you're able to help, but you're not going to want to help every single person that calls you or shows up at your doorstep. So you're going to be using your human design strategy and authority to sift through these opportunities and to really choose the ones that you feel called to help. If you don't do that, you'll end up feeling frustrated, resentful, angry. You'll be in your not self theme in human design. So how do you create your prosperity? You notice your natural gifts. You become aware of those. You own them. You own them as being important and worthy of charging for. And you make sure that you are charging for your services. Whether you're an entrepreneur or you're going in and working for somebody else, you want to make sure you're not being taken advantage of for your natural gifts, because even though it comes easily to you, you do deserve to be compensated. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you found the content valuable, please go ahead and subscribe and continue to explore your human design on this channel. And of course, if you ever have any specific questions or want to dive deeper into your chart in a one-on-one scenario, you can contact me directly through my website.